welcome back everyone for some more Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. And we are continuing on with Day 2, the trial in the case against Waki Kataki. And I am hoping that we are able to solve this case in this episode, as we are going to listen to further testimony from the key witness here, which is Alita Tiala. And we just found out in the last episode, she's not as squeaky clean as what everyone thought she was. As a matter of fact, we found out at the end of the last episode that she got engaged to Waki just so she could inherit the Kataki family fortune should Waki pass away. But we are going to go ahead and hear more of her and why exactly she went to the Miraculous Clinic on the day of the murder. But before we do that, hope you guys have an awesome day today. Hope you guys are doing well. So without further ado, tell us about yourself, including your actions and whereabouts of that day. Don't forget, we've proven that you were at the Miraculous Clinic on the day of the crime. Witness testimony. Miraculous Clinic 2. Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. I wanted that chirp, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Miraculous was shot in the temple or not. That's a very interesting statement. You went back later? That chart was dangerous, you understand? I needed to get rid of it, that's why I went that day. But you couldn't get the chart then, could you? And later that night, Dr. Miraculous was shot. I heard about the shooting, waited a day, but then I had to go back. No easy feat with the cops all over the place. Ah, that was you? Ah, Apollo, that sound! That came from behind the store. Someone's in there. A break-in. They left through that window. So you were the burglar. That was you two? If only I had one more minute. Then I could have opened that safe and gotten the chart. What? That's trespassing, and brazen at that. Oh, is this a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. They are gangsters, you know. In any case, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination. We are going to go ahead and save. Admitting the little crime to avoid the big one, eh? Cross-examination. Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. She wanted that chart but failed to get it. She went back later. In any case, she didn't shoot him. We don't even have proof that she did it. And the brat was spotted in the park. Okay. I'm very interested why she's saying this. The doctor was shot in the right temple, yes? So it seems. Let's review the facts again, shall we? If the killer shot from this location, the bullet would have struck the victim square in the forehead. However, the entry wound was in the right temple. Yes, we heard testimony in this yesterday. At the time of the shooting, the witness was standing here. Just before the gun was fired, he shouted. The victim turned his head to look and was shot. Objection! But that testimony is proven to be a lie. Egregious panty snatcher Mr. Stickler did witness the crime, but he was standing to the north, next to the trash can where he tossed those panties. If Mr. Stickler shot it from this location, a bullet couldn't hit his right temple. Silly, silly attorney. Well, what? Do you remember what you had for breakfast that morning? Do you remember, Trucy? I always have a glass of milk for breakfast. What matters is one thing. The doctor was shot in his right temple. If that's the case, there can only be one explanation. The panties guy was mistaken. Objection! But his location was proven. You can't write that off as him being mistaken. Objection! Then why don't you show us, her forehead? Show you what? Must I explain everything? Very well, let's recap. In my My light is flashing on my Pro Controller. If the witness panties guy was standing to the north, then where was the shooter standing? From what location did the killer shoot the victim? But wait, if the witness was standing there, how could anyone shoot the victim in the main temple? I merely laid out the facts for us. It is up to the one possessing the shiny forehead to show us. If you can, that is. Wakakitaki was standing at the killer mark. Wesley Stickler at the witness mark, and of course Paul Maractus was at the victim mark. Let's hear what the French has to say. Let's go ahead. And while I'm saving, I am going to go ahead and change the battery on my Pro Controller. But yeah, we're getting very close to figuring out exactly what's going on here. We just need to find a few. We just need to find the smoking gun well, I think we already do have the smoking gun, but we're not ready. It's not at the point in the case yet where we're able to deal the final blow. We need to go a little bit further here, but as soon as I'm done here, I am so sorry about this. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and save this again. Where was the killer standing when they shot the victim? Well, it was someplace else. As the facts stand now, we can't explain this crime without contradicting ourselves at some point. But I know why. The real killer shot from an entirely different location. What are you talking about? I don't see any other place. Apparently Mr. Justice does. Let's hear it. Where in the park did the killer shoot the victim from? Objection! It's time to raise the roof. And the stakes. Eh? Penalties are such frightening things, don't you think? But what if they were a bit more terrifying? Like so. The double penalty? Air Forehead wishes to take us in a new direction? Then he must be ready for the challenges ahead. Challenge accepted. It's justice time. Are you sure, Apollo? The key is the witness, Mr. Stickler's testimony. If we believe that and we know where he stood, and the victim turned when he shouted, there's only one place the killer could have been. The killer shot the victim from here. Take that! I believe we owe a debt of gratitude to Miss Alita Tiala. What do you mean? Thanks to you, we had a chance to review the crime. And this time, we were prepared. We know that Wesley Stickler was telling the truth. We should have listened to him from the beginning. Wesley Stickler was standing next to the trash can when he saw the two men. He shouted just as he told us in his testimony. I don't know why he said it like that. And the victim turned to look in his direction. A shot was fired. The victim was hit in the right temple. Oh no. Oh yes. Which direction was his right temple facing at that moment? That's right, where the noodles stand. Order, order, order! So you're saying the killer was inside the noodle stand? Objection! Let's think about this a bit more, shall we? You say the killer was inside the noodle stand, which would mean the victim, Dr. Maractus, came to the park, wielding his own murderer in the cart behind him. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I think you'd notice if you were pulling someone along. Objection! There's something we should worry about before that. Why was he pulling the noodle stand in the first place? Objection! Let's deal with our problems one at a time, shall we? Someone was hiding in the stand. We have not come this far to talk about possibilities. Let's talk about proof, baby. Show us evidence that proves someone was in that stand. Can I prove that? You want evidence that someone was in that stand? Well, I've got it. I've got it right here. Intriguing, let's see what you got. Show us proof that someone was hiding in a noodle stand. What about these? The Miraculous Clinic, and they're covered with paint. These slippers were found in a trash can near the crime scene, and a single slipper print was found at the scene. Right next to the noodle stand. Look! Oh, and Miss Tiala? Your toe print was found in the left slipper. Look. In other words, this is proof you were inside that noodle stand. Objection! Yet there was only one slipper mark found at the scene. Can this be called a footprint in good faith? Objection! Observe the diagram. A park pathway runs right next to the slipper mark. A slipper wouldn't leave a trace on a cobblestone path. Objection! Yet you still cannot say that this is a footprint, yeah? Why not? You have an impression left by a single slipper. What if it was on the stand and simply fell to the ground? Objection! That's just dumb. One more thing. A noodle stand is typically cluttered with the tools of the noodle-making trade. There's no room for a person to ride in there. You have a point. Could someone have hidden in that stand? Apollo, I think I might be onto something. I think I figured out one of our pieces of evidence. In order to make room in the stand, some things would have to be... Well, Mr. Justice, do you have proof that someone could have hidden in the stand? I can prove one thing. Someone did scheme to clear space in that stand. And what about this? This is a noodle bowl from the stolen Eldoon's noodle stand. Yes, and what about it? We discovered a large quantity of these bowls yesterday. In the lobby of the Miraculous Clinic. A large quantity of noodle bowls in a victim's clinic? Mr. Eldoon was very clear about those bowls. Well, I don't care who did it. Without that stand, I'm finished. All my noodle bowls were in there too. Yet the bowls were removed. That night, there was space inside that noodle stand. Space created at the Miraculous Clinic, no less. Right around the time that you were there, Miss Alita Tiala. Stop! I won't listen to any more of these wild fantasies. No, not fantasies. They're worse lines than that spoiled brat's pickup lines. I would like to remind the witness of her current status. This court does not consider you entirely innocent. Show me an innocent, and I'll show you a fairy tale. In any case, the defense has somehow made its point. The witness had both a motive and an opportunity to kill Dr. Miraculous. More fairy tales. This whole child's a fairy tale. Then please, force back down to reality, Miss Tiala. I'm giving you one last chance to explain yourself. This is it. Why was Dr. Miraculous holding that stand that night? And what was Alita Tiala doing inside it? Time to get to the bottom of this case. Witness testimony. Tiala's explanation. That night, I went to ask Dr. Miraculous for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kataki family's hands. But Dr. Miraculous didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Katakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. You knew about the botched operation, so you tried to get rid of the chart to save yourself. I won't make excuses. And I did warn the good doctor. I gave him a chance. I told him that Brat got his health checkup report, and that he was coming to settle the score. I see. Very well, Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination. Don't mind if I do as soon as I'm done saving. Yes, Your Honor. This is the last testimony. Either I perceive the truth, or it's over. That gives us a hint of what we need to do here. Okay, Tiala's explanation. Okay, that night she went to ask Maractus for the church. She had no intention of ever letting that church fall in with the Katakis. Doctor didn't understand. For some reason he thought the Katakis had sent her. And she gave up when all I did was talk to him. So I gave up.
Gotcha!
Gotcha, Miss Tiala! I heard you just fine the first time. Wait, what? I wasn't aware we were playing paintball. She's one cool cucumber, that Alita. Maybe I spotted the wrong spot. But my bracelet reacted. There must be something in this testimony. I'll find your weak spot, Alita Tiala. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him.
Gotcha!
It was her hand. Okay. Yeah, it's her hand. Not her scarf. It was her hand. All I did was talk. And lie. Well, what? Show me proof. I'm pretty sure about this one. I think I'm getting the hang of this. A little slip in confidence, and they give it all away. The proof is you, Miss Tiala. All I did was talk to him, you claim. Yet you can't hide your own nervous twitch when you say those words. My twitch? What are you talking about? You have a habit of scratching the area of your neck around the edge of your skirt. What? This is working better than I hoped. Her unconscious actions tell the truth she won't say. Habits and lies. 2 dots. Connect the dots and find the truth. Don't look at me like that. I told you the truth. It seems like when you recall what really happened in that office, you can't keep your hands off your neck, can you? Seems like nervous habits are unconscious reactions that manifest when someone is trying to hide something. You can't hide behind your scarf, Miss Tiala. Something happened between you and the victim in the Maractus Clinic office. And I've got proof that shows exactly what happened. And it happens to be the thing that I've been wondering about myself. The lamp. What's that? You're touching your scarf again. There's something unusual about this lamp. The bulb is broken and there's a red splotch on the cord. Eh? Seeing how you hide your neck, I think I can come up with a possible explanation for the lamp's fate. Well, spit it out. This talking in circles nonsense is killing me. Very well. The answer is very simple, Miss Alita Tiala. Please remove your scarf. Eee! Got her.
Objection!
This is a trial to determine what happened in that park, yet we seem to have drifted off target.
Objection!
We'll find out soon enough if we're drifting, as soon as the witness removes his scarf. I won't do it. This is insane. I'm an unrelated third party. You can't order me to remove it. Miss Tiala, I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven. What? You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf. No. I knew it. So I was right, wasn't I, Miss Alita Tiala? Your neck? That isn't what I think that isn't what I think it is. Something did happen that night at the Maractus Clinic. You needed to get that chart back no matter what it took. Even if you had to steal your fiance's pistol, we'll do it. But wait! Looking at this lamp and the witness's neck, it looks like the very opposite happened. Exactly. The victim in the clinic that night was this witness, specifically. You tried to threaten Dr. Maractus and he attacked you. That's what happened that night at the Maractus Clinic. Ugh. Looks like we got her. Order, order, order! Will someone please tell me what really happened? I told you the truth already. I went to the clinic that night to warn Dr. Maractus. That gangster knows everything. He's coming for you. Looks like my clinic's seen its last patient. We have to get rid of that chart. Quick, open your safe. Give it to me. So you can save your own skin? What? I know what you're up to. You went in with the family, and if they see that chart, you're finished. Leaving me holding the short straw. But if I'm going down, I want some company. You. And what happened next? He jumped at me and knocked me to the floor. Then, he took that cord. Paul Maractus was serious. Deadly serious. He really tried to strangle me. I must have blacked out. So, you were the victim? And the red splotch on the cord was your lipstick. I didn't want to remember that night. That's why I didn't bring it up. There, are you happy now? I was out cold, almost killed. And you claim I then snuck in that noodle stand? But how could I? Ugh! Well, one thing is clear. We now know what really happened in Maractus Clinic, and it would seem that our victim was not entirely without blame himself. I'm sorry. I get so nervous just thinking of it. It's hard to breathe. I've told you everything. Can I go home now? You bear some responsibility for events that day, too. Yet if you're also a victim, this court would owe you some sympathy. Well, Mr. Justice, I believe this clears up the remaining questions from Miss Tiala. When did this happen? Suddenly, everyone's sympathizing with her. I don't know what to think anymore, Apollo. I mean, is that it? Do we know everything we need to know about Miss Tiala? Very well, this finishes the cross-examination of this.
Objection!
Heh, not so fast. This party's just getting started. Now, we rock. Well, what? Those spikes on your head are softer than they look. Or do you not have the stomach to go all the way? Prosecutor Gavin? Paul Maractus choked the lady Tiala. She fell unconscious. But what happened next? He's right, there is more we don't know. But she was choked hard enough to leave that mark. She would have been out for a while. Even still, what if it was her in that noodle stand? The lady Tiala, half dead, Dr. Maractus pulling the stand, and a bullet fired from inside the noodle stand. What if it's all true? We might have already figured out what truly happened that night. Miss Alita Tiala, as you can see, we're not through with you just yet. You really want to blame me for this murder, don't you? You too, Prosecutor Gavin. Me? Fraulein, I only wish to know the truth. Well, let's go back over what we learned up to now. On the day of the murder, Waki saw his checkup report, from which he learned about the bullet still inside him. So, he took a pistol from the family stash, with the intent to give Dr. Maractus some of his own medicine. And Miss Tiala heard about this from Waki, so she went to the Maractus clinic ahead of him, in order to get rid of the chart with her signature. But then, something happened. Sounds like you figured it all out. But remember, I was the victim. I was out cold. But, what about Dr. Maractus? That does seem to be the problem. He had just strangled a Lady Tiala, perhaps, he thought, to death. What did he do after his crime? I was just knocked out, not dead. From the state of his clinic and the scene in the park, I think it's clear what the good doctor did next. Well, our forehead? Care to guess? Well, Mr. Justice, what did Dr. Maractus do? Maybe he did think he killed Alita Tiala. Let's go ahead and save. Do I have evidence to show what he did next? Oh, I think I do. Let's present the good old noodle stand.
Take that!
As his next move, Dr. Maractus stole Guy Aldoon's noodle stand. What? Killing me disturbed him that much? So much he randomly stole a noodle stand? It wasn't so random. Remember all the balls in the clinic's foyer? Balls that belonged inside that stand? I think it's pretty obvious, don't you? That stand was at the clinic. However, the question is, why did he move the balls? Maybe because the stand was heavy? Or he wanted to put something in the stand in their place. Oh, wait, you don't mean... I do. Dr. Miraculous did replace those balls with something. Your quote-unquote corpse, Miss Tiala. But by corpse? Dr. Miraculous panicked. He thought he'd killed you. His next move would be to dispose of the body. But that's crazy talk. You're all crazy.
Objection!
Then let's think about it, logically. The doctor had a place to dispose of you in mind. But on his way there, who should he run into but the defendant, Waki Kataki?
Objection!
I question your logic. What's this, Prosecutor Gavin? The park is a dead end. Why would he head in that direction to begin with? That's right, he had no reason to go there. Oh, no, I get it. It was a trick. That spoiled brat made him do it. He made the doctor steal the stand.
Objection!
Tell me, why would someone go to a dead end? Unless the park was his destination. What? Apparently the defense has an idea. Tell us where Dr. Miraculous was heading with the stand. Here, please show us in this diagram. So where exactly was the... Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see. And what about here? There? That's a river! Yes, Your Honor. I scarcely need to explain why. A perfect place to dispose of a body. He was going to throw me into that river? He didn't have many other options, Caroline. I believe this clears up all the remaining questions. The victim holding the stand and the defendant before him. And inside the stand, you, Miss Alita Tiala. Ugh. And then, the denouement. Wesley Stickler, of panty-snatching fame, walks up. Seeing the two men, he shouts. In that instant... So, I shot him? You were the only one who could have stolen Waki's pistol. It had to be you. Well, Miss Tiala? Humph. Nice work. You mean, I'm right? I mean, you've done a fine job dreaming up a story to get that spoiled rat off the hook. You're the one who's dreaming. Paulo's backed up everything he said with facts. If you're so sure he's making it up, give us another reason. Why was Dr. Miraculous pulling that stand through the park? Who knows? But there's one gaping hole in your logic. I think Mr. Gavin knows whereof I speak. Whereof what? I can't believe she's still trying to deny this. Hey there, Pele. Is this true, Prosecutor Gavin? Must I always be the one to point out L4head's errors? Maybe there really is something. I believe the Fraulein speaks of Air Doctor's car. His car? That's right, the Miraculous Clinic has that big garage. And what's that? A green sports car, was it? Why would he steal the stand in the first place? If he wanted to carry a body, he would have used his car. And so we find our victim without probable cause to steal that stand. And a defense without a case. I have an idea. You know that green car? I bet it wouldn't run. It was broken. Ah, what an excellent counter-argument, Fraulein. Too bad you're quite wrong. Eh? Don't tell me you've forgotten what happened to your daddy. Daddy? That's right. That night, the car that hit Mr. Ray was that green sports car. Oh yes, I'd nearly forgotten about that. Afterward, he drove it back to that garage. It ran fine. That's right. So why didn't he use the beloved sports car, Ugh. A glaring contradiction, to be sure. More glaring than your forehead. No. No! But wait a minute. What if Chusey's right? Order, order, order! Well, Mr. Justice? Why didn't Dr. Miraculous use his car to carry the body? Is that a grown-up surrender I hear? Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. Everything I've learned? Mr. Justice, this contradiction casts doubt on your entire case. This is truly your last chance. The defense will explain to us what happened that night. Well, we're gonna say what Judy just said the car didn't run. I have an idea. It's all coming together. That night, Dr. Maractus couldn't use his car. Ha! Now you're making even less sense than usual. Not according to my information, Miss Tiala. Put one and one together and the explanation is simple. If it's so simple, perhaps you can show us some evidence. Show us proof why the car wouldn't run that night. Well, what other than Juicy's lucky panties?
Take that!
Let's see now. Panties again? All sorts of things come out of my panties. Even the truth. Another crime was committed the night of the murder. The theft of those panties. The latest in a string of similar thefts, actually. But that night, the snatcher was caught in the act. A brave young girl chased the thief until he hid in the Maractus Clinic garage. What? The snatcher hid the panties there before running. Perhaps someone in this court remembers where he hid them? Why, weren't they found in the car's exhaust pipe? Exactly. By the way, I learned something yesterday. A very important piece of information. And I learned it from you, Prosecutor Gavin. So you were here investigating? And I was on my way home when my hog gave up the ghost. Your hog? My motorcycle won't start. A clogged exhaust pipe. Too bad, it looks like such a nice bike, too. Hard to believe I could break just from that. Cars, motorbikes, they're all the same. Clog the exhaust and they won't run. My, how interesting. While Miss Tiala and the doctor were struggling, the panty snatcher snuck into the Maractus garage. From that time until the time we found these, that car wouldn't start. Well, what? That's what Dr. Maractus had to use. That's why Dr. Maractus had to use the noodle stand. It was the next closest thing he could think of. Well, Miss Tiala? This wraps your doubts up quite nicely, I think. So it does. Where? Where am I? So dark. Can't see. Cramped. The pain. My throat's burning. But what's your problem? You, Doc. I know what you did. Ah. Walkie? You lied to me. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, man. But wait! Let me explain. Oh, fine. I'll give you your last request. Listen, you're being tricked. But not how you think. It's not just me. No! He'll ruin everything. I have to stop him. So cease this at once, you two. And that's how it went down. Funny, this isn't the way it was supposed to turn out. Oh well, too bad. There's still one mystery. How did you manage to disappear from that stand? In the silence after the shot, I heard the witness running. I believe we heard as much from Wesley Stickler. He went to use a public phone to inform the police. Which is when I made my escape. Which is when you left that slipper print. Dr. Maractus didn't bother taking my slippers off. I threw them out after I stepped in that paint, though. That was your mistake. No, my biggest mistake was coming to you for help, Mr. Justice. Eh? I believed in you. You and your anything agency. If anyone would get Wonky declared guilty, it was you. Well, gee, thanks. I believe we reach a conclusion of sorts. Prosecutor Gavin, how is Miss Alita Tiala doing? She's confessed to everything. We're processing her arrest now. Prosecutor Gavin sure seems confident someone we just lost. I think he already knew. He'd figured it out she was the killer a while ago. Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. He lost, but I didn't exactly win either. Something the matter, forehead? Looks like it's time to announce a verdict. Not guilty. Court is adjourned. June 17th, 4:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Great job, Apollo. You did it. Yeah, we did, somehow. Walkie's off the hook. Free to become the gangster he always wanted to be. And he has you to thank. Hey, Attorney Man. You're gonna pay for what you did to my Alita, Holmes. Or to blame, I guess. You give my Alita back. Stupid pointy-head attorney with a death wish. Enough, Walkie. Ah, Mr. Kataki. It's high time you opened your eyes, Walkie. What do you know, old man? I think it's about time you opened yours. Giving up the life, trying to become some kind of businessman. Don't talk about what you don't understand, Walkie. I'm afraid the guard is going to throw them both out. If not in jail, wouldn't that be a happy ending? Hey, maybe we can help him out. We know why Mr. Kataki needs to make so much money. Maybe we should tell Walkie. Oh, Walkie? Apollo has something to tell you. Huh? I do? Way to put me on the spot. Hey, what's that? Show him the reason why, Apollo. Why is Mr. Kataki trying to become a businessman? Oh, it's... You could either do one of two things. You could either present Walkie's checkup report, or you could present his chart. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just present his chart. Think about it, Walkie. Think about your condition. I talked with your mother, Little Plum, yesterday. It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is. She doesn't mean... You aren't really... Are you? I searched the globe, and I found one. A doctor who can take that bullet out of you, Walkie. But it's an expensive procedure. But man, you got plenty of money already, don't you? I won't use it. It was the gangster life that did this to you, Walkie. I want to help you, and I want to do it clean. Please understand, Walkie, that Dad... But man, I see how it is, old man. Always you looking out for... Walkie? Listen good, old man. One day, I'm gonna take you out, then we'll see who's the OG. You try to hide in your business suit, I'll find you. Stupid old geezer. My, Walkie? No, it's as it should be. Mr. Kataki, I liked it more without the puppy dog eyes. I'm glad to have met you. I'm not so good with words, but I know a professional job when I see one. Thank you. Who, me? I don't think... Someday, I'll bake you one of our latest, the Kataki Lam Pie. He's opening a pie shop? So long. And he was gone. Well, let's head back, Apollo. To the Right Anything Agency. Hey, since when do I work at your agency? We make a good team. Don't just stand there, let's get going. Huh, why not? She did help me out. And there's a few questions that still need answers. Like this power of mine that she showed me. And my bracelet. If anyone can help me figure it out, it's her. Though I can't say I care much for what her father has become. Oh, that's right. We have to go someplace first. Huh? Where? Why, to claim my reward from Mr. Aldoon. Ah, salty noodles. Right. He got a stand back already? Oh, and after that, you can come see my show. With a special appearance by the amazing Mr. Han. Oh, it's special, alright. Please, anything but him. And that is the end of Case 2. And I will not see you guys in this series until June when we do the third case, which you can see we got an award for completing Turnabout Corner. But yeah, we'll be coming back to the series in June because I can't wait to show you what I have in store up not only in April but in May. But we will be doing the third case of this game in June. And then we'll be doing the fourth and final case in September. So, we are going to end things here. And I should let you guys... Hey there, Ryan. I will let you guys know that the name of the next episode is Turnabout Serenade. So, hopefully you guys will be looking forward to that. So whenever I get back this game back in June. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. I'll be seeing you guys again next time.